Hello people. Today I wanted to start digging, but I found a problem with the excavator that I need to fix first. And now I'm gonna show you what the problem is, and it's a real serious problem. You can see it here. There's a crack in the boom. So it's where the middle cylinder pushes. And when pulled with the middle cylinder, that's the action that will put force on this place. And I think I was a little bit lucky that it didn't crack where the bore is. It circles right around the bore. So I guess I'm just gonna grind a large groove and fill it back by welding. And I hope it will be good. And this is a pretty nasty surprise. I had no idea about this. But I think I'm also lucky that I found it now, because something else might have happened if I hadn't noticed it. I was just greasing the bushings, starting from the low end of the far end of the beam and working my way up. And that's when I discovered this problem. And this pin locker was of course here. I opened the bolt and tilted it back so I can now see the crack completely. And I'm gonna angle grind off the grease and paint and make the groove, and then by stick welding I will fill it back. And I think I will film this little fix so you can see. Okay, let me get back to you. Okay, I now ground it pretty deep. And now I'm gonna bring my stick welder cables and use 3.25mm 7018 electrodes to fill it up. And this is the scale. So it's a pretty large crack actually. Okay, let's bring in the welder. Okay, everything's now set up. I have my welder brought out because I don't have cables long enough to reach from inside. And I have a dripping wet rag on the cylinder rod that was still visible, so no sparks to the chrome. And I have my favorite sticks, ESAB 7018, 3.2mm, not quite sure what the imperial size is. And I have my ground clamp on the boom. And I think I cannot film when I weld, but I am gonna weld from down to up, vertical of course, and I'm gonna make several passes. I think maybe at least 3 passes. And the ends where this clamp will not have to go, I think I will weld even more. Okay, and the current on the welder is 125 around. Okay, let's start welding. Okay, first pass is in, and I think it came out pretty good. I think it actually looks a little bit better in real life than in the vid. Okay, let's see what it looks like after the cover passes. Okay, the third pass is now on, and there is some grease bubbling and boiling. And my hand is shaking very much, I'm sorry for that. Let's see what we can find under the slag. Need to do some more brushing, I think. But I think the weld looks pretty good after all. I think Here in the up I have to do some more filling, but I think otherwise I am happy now. The weld is a little bit higher than the base metal. I think the strength will be pretty close to original. I ground almost all the way through, so the weld metal is pretty much, I think, exactly as thick as the base metal. This is not, I think this is only like 10mm thick. It's pretty weak. I actually wonder why. Okay, so now let me brush off all the slag and figure out what to do next. Okay, now the repair is done, and I think I am happy with it. It doesn't look too great, of course, but I don't care about that at all. And it's in the heights always. This is the highest point of the boom, so nobody will even see it. I left the welds a little bit lower where this piece comes. It still is a little bit up from this piece, but the pin still comes through from the other side. And I put a little bit more fill in the opposite place of the weld where it was a little bit short, and I also filled the downside a little bit. Okay. Not the prettiest of welds, but at least the 3 first passes came out pretty nice. On the rest I was just trying to fill it in. And also I was a little bit nervous having to repair my new excavator before even getting to use it. Okay, now I guess I'm gonna do some digging and see if the weld holds up. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so far no cracking. Oh, I forgot the rag on. I guess it doesn't matter. Now let's do some digging and see if it holds up. Not sure how I can film while I dig. Let's see. Okay, let me set up the camera outside. On my compressor, I think. Okay, not perfect, but you will see something. ground is a little bit hard for my little excavator, and the bucket is pretty large. I think it's about 1 meter in width. It's not a small bucket. And I tried to figure out a way how to stress test the weld, and I think I eventually got it by pushing outwards, and so far it seems like the weld has managed to hold the stress. So now let me remove this one. Okay, so now I guess just more digging, but first of course I'm gonna re-grease the pin, and because all the grease just burnt out. Okay, I guess this is the end of this project. Again, one surprise project, one more surprise project. Okay, now I think I'm gonna dig until it's too dark. It's already getting pretty dark, and when it's dark I'm gonna work on the wood splitter, so not much free time tonight. Well, of course, free time is a little bit different for me than somebody else. I like doing this on the evenings, but I have to say I certainly did not like this repair, because I paid a fortune for this machine, and it I really don't enjoy finding faults in it, and I hope I don't find any more of them. But this one was pretty easy to repair, at least. I think it's around 1.5 hours from start to finish. Okay, another video for you, and you will soon see more about the wood splitter and also the mystery project, I think, which no longer is a mystery. Okay, thank you for watching and have a nice evening. Okay, one more addition. I have now been digging a little bit. It's pretty dark now already. This camera is worthless when it's dark. It's actually not dark at all. This camera is just not good at all. But I just got my first rock wrestling finished. Too bad it's so dark, but this is a pretty huge boulder, I would say. It must weigh almost a ton, I think, and so far the weld has held, but we will see. And I think wrestling rocks with this swinging bucket is not maybe the best idea, because I know they are not built for very heavy duty work, but I think that's what I'm gonna do anyways, because my other bucket that is for normal digging is about a third of the size of this bucket, or maybe a little bit under half, so it's very small, in other words, and it's just too small for this work, and there is no way I could pull a rock this large with that little bucket. So I guess I'm just gonna use this one and fix it if it breaks. Not a very good attitude. Okay. And I am pretty happy with the power of this excavator. It really was not a long wrestle to get this rock out. Okay. Finally the end of this video. Now I will let you go to sleep. Okay. Have a good night.